Alright, so today I thought I would do a review on my Stihl FS91R. This is my very first ever time buying a brand new Stihl product. Um, any Stihl product for that matter. I've always bought used ones, fixed them, and sold them. I haven't really been too big of a fan on Stihl products. Anybody who's watched my videos knows I have a large, well, large to me, amount of Japanese string trimmers. I have about 10 of them now. In my past video, I had about 5 or 6. Since this spring, I've actually purchased a couple more. I don't believe I purchased any brand new ones, but used ones that I've just fixed up and used around my property. I do have quite a few new Japanese trimmers, like Makitas, Mariyamas, Hitachis, whatever, that I have owned since new, and they do work good. But I wanted to get, a feel for the Stihl premix engine, because I've never owned one, and before this, I've never even used one. I really do like the trimmer. It is a little bit heavy compared to a two-stroke, but not quite as heavy as a four-stroke trimmer, because this engine is made like a four-stroke, but it runs on premixed fuel. So it gets its lubrication from the oil that is in the fuel, which is why they call it a four mix. This trimmer is really nicely constructed. I like how the engine is completely covered. It minimizes your risk of getting burnt, but more importantly, the spark plug is not protruding out of the top. Why I say that, when I was probably about 11 or 12 years old, I was using a string trimmer. I can't remember the brand, but I did get quite the jolt in the elbow from a spark plug protruding, and there being a small pinhole in the insulation around the spark plug. And yes, I did get a nice shock from that, so I'm glad that they actually have covered that completely up. Now, the handle is nice, it's rubberized. Both handles are great. This trimmer has very little to no vibration. And this here, I've heard some people calling this a handguard. This is not a handguard. What this is intended and designed to do is, when you have a blade on the trimmer head and you get any kickback from a piece of wood or whatever you're trimming, it's actually designed to hit your leg and prevent the trimmer head from coming in contact with your ankle, your foot, or whatever that gets in its path. So this is really just a protective device, because you think if they were going to make a handguard, they would have something coming up over the top, because a lot of people grab the string trimmer here, not necessarily all the time at the side here, and it wouldn't be this little, thin, like 2 centimeter thick piece of plastic. This is just designed to hit your leg to prevent the trimmer head from actually coming in contact with your body. Now back to the engine. When I purchased this, my girlfriend had picked it up for me, and there was no fuel in it or anything, and I did get the pleasure of being able to start the machine for the first time. I'm running it on a 32-to-1 gasoline oil mix. These are designed to run at a 50-to-1, but anybody who knows me knows that I run my machines a slight bit to the rich side, and I always use synthetic oils to minimize carbon buildup. A lot of people caution me that you're going to have carbon buildup from a heavier mix, and personally, from my own experience over the past years that I've been working on small engines, I personally have not experienced that on any of my equipment, and I will continue to run a richer mix in all of them. I've personally, all of my trimmers, I've never come into any problem with carbon fouling, nothing like that. No, clogged spark arresters. I haven't had that problem. Now, my personal theory on carbon deposits and carbon buildup, when you're running at a leaner mix, it allows the engine to get hotter, which in theory will allow the oil to reach its flash point, which will also allow the oil to burn. The smoke that you get from a two-stroke is actually unburnt oil. It's not burning oil. You'll never get smoke from burning oil. It's unburnt oil that's coming out of your exhaust. And I would much rather have a tad bit of smoke than some carbon inside my engine that could potentially break off and kill the engine. And like I said, from my own personal experience, I've never come into any problems with carbon fouling at all. So I'll continue to run at a 32-to-1 ratio. But beyond that, like I said, I got to start this thing up. This was my first Stihl product, brand new. I have a Stihl BR400 backpack leaf blower that I use to this day, and it's very good. I didn't buy it brand new. I bought it 1 year old off of a local classified ad. But anyways, to start this machine, it's really simple. You push the choke lever in. You can see it has like a spring-loaded effect there. So you push it in and you just turn it to the left, so counterclockwise, all the way to the left, and you're on full choke. If you push it just slightly to the left, then you're on a partial choke. Since this engine is cold, I'm going to choke it, and I'm going to give it 2 primes. And I'll give it a pull. This is a full crank engine, so your pull starter is at the back. The fuel tank, what I really like about it is how large the opening is here for the fuel. Something that I dislike about this trimmer is the fuel tank has no protective cover on the bottom. Although the trimmer's actual stand here allows the fuel tank to sit higher than the trimmer, there's still the chance if you drop this machine that the fuel tank will crack. And another part that I dislike about it is the fuel tank has a seam here, which seems like a potential spot for leakage to happen. If you look in here, it actually has automotive style air filter as well. So anyways, we'll give it a pull and we'll see how easy it starts. It usually starts within 1 to 2 pulls. And unfortunately, I do not have my tripod on me today. I am using actually my iPhone SE to record this video, so hopefully the quality is alright. And we'll give it a pull. To actually set the choke to the run position, you just hit the throttle trigger, or you can manually do it. I actually just did it by hitting the throttle trigger. I'll let the engine warm up. It usually starts up first to second pull. A lot of people on the forums and whatnot who have experience with these premix engines actually say you do not need to choke the machine. But so far, I've tried to start it without the choke, and it did require a choke. So I'll let it warm up. I really do like the sound of these machines. They really do sound nice. The machine has been warming up for about roughly 5 minutes now, which is plenty enough time to get this small engine up to temperature. I'll just give you one quick walk around here of the trimmer. The trimmer head is fairly easy to load. It's not as easy as a Echo Speed Feed head. It does come apart like the older styles, but it is quite easy to actually load. And I am running a Shakespeare Ugly Line 0.95 in it right now. It did have a Stihl round line, but I'm not a big fan of round lines. I believe this trimmer has a solid steel drive shaft, which actually enables you to use a blade on the machine. And it does look very nice. I really do like the styling. I'll pick it up here and we'll go trim a couple of weeds with it. It is light enough to actually lift and use with one hand, but I wouldn't recommend using it with one hand depending on what you are going to be trimming. So here is just a little bit of some weeds, brush, whatever, and we'll trim down this one here. You can hear the sound of the trimmer. It's very responsive. I do like that a lot. Here we go. So it's very easy to trim weeds with this machine, and that was only partial throttle. kill switch operates here with only one touch of a button. You do not have to hold down the kill switch. Now, something that some other people have mentioned, and what I've noticed as well, is this premix engine. There's no real governing of the throttle. Within the first tiny little bit, you're practically almost at your full engine RPM. The only thing is you'll notice a little bit more induction noise once you actually open the throttle up all the way. But the RPMs are not as variable as with a conventional 2-cycle trimmer. That's something that really doesn't bother me. I really do enjoy the sound of this engine, which it does. It sounds like a 4-stroke, but it runs on 2-stroke fuel. But the engine noise is actually a little bit unique in that aspect as well. It sounds, in my opinion, a little bit better than the other offerings of 4-stroke trimmers that are out there on the market right now. But yeah, there's my review on the Stihl FS91R. I personally really like this trimmer. It's really nice. It came with a strap as well. I personally do not use the strap. Personally, I do not see that you needing one for this trimmer. Maybe a larger model with the the bicycle handles, but this configuration here, you do not need a trimmer strap to actually use the machine. And I'll just go ahead and show you guys actually how large the fuel tank inlet is, and it is quite large. There's my finger there, so you can easily fuel this thing. And there's the fuel that I have in it now. You can see that's 32:1, but it's actually not, as dark as everybody's gonna, believe that it will be. That is using a synthetic Lucas brand oil and premium fuel, which is what I only run premium fuel in all of my equipment, just because it does not have ethanol here where I live, the Shell V-Power anyways. So there was my review. I give this trimmer, personally, I would give it 8 out of 10. Just, there is a couple of things, that could be done a little bit better. The trimmer, the bottom of the gas tank, I personally would add a shield. And the trigger, I would like it to be a little bit larger than 1-finger operation, which 1-finger operation is fine. It works, but personally I would have actually extended that out a little bit longer. That may also give you, you have a different point of leverage, so you may be able to get a few different RPM ranges in there. And also, I would have made this fuel tank one piece. I wouldn't have actually had a seam in the center there. That just seems like a point of weakness where it could potentially start to leak. But beyond that, this trimmer is very well built, and I'd recommend it to anybody looking to buy a powerful trimmer, brush cutter, whatever. This machine is great, and I really do like it a lot. It starts easy, runs smoothly, and you can't beat that engine sound. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. This was another video by Pimpin' Pens. Hope you enjoyed this video review on the Stihl FS91R. Thanks. See you guys later.